Welcome to the program today. Mondo Gonzales here in studio with our good friend L.A. Marzulli. And the question that we see all around us, and it's in the government, it's in the Congress, is UFOs. We're going to talk about those today. Stick around. LA, welcome.
Great to be here.
You have a phrase, LA, that UFOs are burgeoning. Kind of share us.
UFOs are real burgeoning, not going away. This is the coming great deception, but when we go up, they come down. We go up, they show up. There's actually a track, I can get it, but I pretty much have it by memory. It's channeled information. So it comes from a woman who's a psychic, and she's allowing an entity to come into her and give her information. And it basically says, we are the Pleiadians, and we are teaching mankind the great lesson, and I'm paraphrasing here, which is essentially this, realize your own godhood. Well, that goes right back to the garden, right? But then it says there is an opportunity, a moment in time, where many people will leave the earth in an instant, in an afternoon, because the people who leave are disrupting the harmony of the earth. They don't fit here any longer. This is channeled information. When I was in the New Age 50 years ago, 50, I heard that very same thing. Had no idea what the rapture of a church was. So the other side of the aisle is already explaining it away. And the way they're explaining the way the rapture is that we were taken aboard UFOs. I'm not making this up, folks. Not making the other side of the aisle. That's what they're saying already. Because we don't fit in. We don't.
And I think that's the real question is, and this is why we do these things in order to bring it to all of you, is that, now you could be sitting in your house, and it's been amazing, LA, in the last few years. Now we're sitting in our house, and this isn't some tinfoil idea that Congress is having meetings about all these things really from 2017 on.
Correct.
And so really all the work that you have done and over the 30 years, many different films. And so you've been doing this work, and it's kind of like people are la, 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 whatever. And then boom, Congress gets involved. And so it's a real vindication and validation for all the work that you've done. But let me ask you this. You have a 10-box UFO disclosure, kind of all of your works, kind of from the history up to now. But in that sense, why is this important, this whole topic?
It's important because Jesus warns us that, do not be deceived. Be like the days of Noah, men thinking from fearfulness coming upon the earth. You start putting all that together in the end times blender, as it were. Something's coming, Now it could be, Apophis, or it could be an asteroid, but men faint from fearfulness coming upon the earth. What's manifesting? What is manifesting in the skies more than anything is the whole burgeoning UFO phenomena, and it ain't going away. And more people, I get emails all the time from people, I saw this, I saw that. Most of the time they're close encounters of the first kind, a light in the distance, it's moving at right angles, doing some far stuff. Very few people have a close encounter of a second kind, which is very, much closer. You can see the beings inside the craft, close encounters of the third kind.
So it's not just a light, you can see, it's actual, you can see a physical craft.
See a physical craft.
Okay.
And the fourth kind, of course, is
what about the third
contact.
kind?
Third kind is you see the beings.
Okay.
Maybe they're walking around, the grays, whatever. They're doing stuff. And the fourth kind is you actually have contact with them. So the film delves into all of that, all 10 films. We have close encounters of the first, second, third, and fourth kind, crop circles, cattle mutilations. The abduction phenomena is really intense. That's number 4. The cattle mutilation film, not for the faint of heart. And a lot of people scoff at that. Oh, you're talking about cattle. What does that have to do with the Bible? It has everything to do with the Bible. It's because it goes back to Genesis 3:15. They are creating hybrids. It's the days of Noah. And by the way, folks, when Jesus says it'll be like the days of Noah when I return, there is no Sethite. I always have trouble getting it out. There is no Sethite theory. It's not even invented till a couple of hundred years later. Everyone knows when Jesus talks about it's going to be like they know what he's talking about, because the bones of the Nephilim are in Jerusalem proper. They're
Josephus
says
he
that.
says it. The bones are still here.
The bones are still here. So they're, hey, you know, look over here. We had a 10-footer. This is Goliath over here. Notice there's no head. I mean, I'm being glib here, but I mean, something is going on. So, you know, there's no equivocation. Everyone knows exactly what he's talking about. The days of Noah. We are here. We are the mixing of the seed, Genesis 3:15. Hats off to Elder Brother Gary Stearman. It's a mingling of the seed. Hybrids are walking amongst us, and this is why the cattle mutilation is so important, because bovine blood can be used interchangeably in a human transfusion. So let's say you're in a battlefield or whatever, and there's not enough blood to go around. They can use the blood from a cow. So in our opinion, we're the first researchers ever to cobble all this together. When the woman is impregnated by them, she's taken, she's abducted. She finds herself pregnant. In the 3rd month of pregnancy, she's re-abducted, she's taken. The hybrid fetus, which is in her, is taken from her. How do we know that? Eyewitness accounts. You know, watch the film, it'll blow you away. But that hybrid fetus needs a womb to go into. They are creating artificial wombs. And we show this in the film. We're doing it here. Human beings are creating artificial wombs. So the fallen ones, same deal. I mean, it's not, look, folks, this is the deep end of the pool. It's not for the faint of heart. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
It's spiritual warfare. It's end time scenario. It's a look into Hell's Kitchen. It's an understanding of what the other side is doing. And it all ties back to Genesis 3:15 and the days of Noah.
You know, this is where one of the most interesting things and why we talk about it is, you know, as Christians or others, maybe you're watching this program and you're not a Christian and you're hearing about all these things online, social media, and you're wondering, what is this? Or even as a Christian, we have a responsibility to have answers. 1 Peter 3:15 tells us to have answers, LA, for these. Now, we don't have all the answers, but as a Christian, I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, we need to have at least a paradigm to offer, which is contrasting with the New Age movement.
Absolutely. And here's something to think about, folks. Your kids and your grandkids are being indoctrinated into a false gospel. They're already there. They're watching Ancient Aliens every Friday night. I was on the first 2 seasons of that. But the bottom line is, what are they promulgating? Oh, we were visited here by an advanced race of extraterrestrials who seeded us here, genetically manipulated early man, started the world's civilizations and religions, and now at this critical juncture in history, which is pretty much where we are, they're going to come back and usher mankind in the golden age. This is the coming great deception. And you're hearing about it a priori before the events are taking place. And I've been banging this drum, like you said earlier, for 30 years.
Well, we're going to take a little break here, but before we do, I want to remind everybody that in addition to this television program, if you go to prophecywatchers.com online and just go over to the tab of where to find us, you will see us all over the place. And if you go to our YouTube channel or Rumble channel, we have dozens and dozens of more videos and information that we do every single day. So this is not the only place to find us. So make sure to check us out online. But also a place where you can keep in contact with us is through our magazine. So we're going to take a little break here and you can see how to get that.
At Prophecy Watchers, we believe that God has called us to be a voice in these last days, to warn you of things to come, to educate you on the study of Bible prophecy, and to boldly proclaim the soon return of Jesus. For your gift of just $50 or more, here's what we'd love to send you. 12 monthly issues of our 4-color magazine, The Prophecy Watcher, in your choice of print or digital. Plus 5 bonus DVDs packed with eye-opening teachings from prophecy experts, including The Mystery of the Rapture, The Great Apostasy and the Revealing of the Antichrist, Holy Fire in Jerusalem, new shocking discoveries surrounding the Shroud of Turin, The Stones Cry Out, the archaeological evidence for Jesus, The Mystery of the 10 Kings. Could these be the wealthy and influential oligarchs who control our world today? As an added bonus, we want to send you a one-of-a-kind prophetic treasure, a book that examines every prophecy in the entire Bible. Exploring Bible prophecy from Genesis to Revelation is the work of 2 prophecy legends, Tim LaHaye and Ed Hindson. It's a book you'll find on the shelf of every prophecy expert. This 560-page masterpiece is our bonus gift to you. Every page of the Prophecy Watcher magazine is loaded with answers to the questions you've been asking. The rise of the Antichrist system, the Nephilim of Genesis 6, and the real reason for Noah's flood. The shocking truth about UFOs and government cover-ups. The coming wars of Ezekiel 38 and 39, the Dead Sea Scrolls and their secrets to ancient prophecies. This $120 value can be yours for your gift of $50 with shipping included in the USA. Call us at the number on your screen or visit us online at prophecywatchers.tv. For our international friends, please note that additional shipping fees do apply and all prices listed are in US dollars. The signs are everywhere. The prophetic puzzle is almost complete, and yet so many are still asleep. That's why the Prophecy Watchers exists, to shine a light in the darkness and help believers understand the lateness of the hour. We believe Jesus is coming soon, and your support helps us take this urgent message to the ends of the earth.
Hello, I'm Gary Stearman. You may know that I spent many years as a pastor and Bible teacher to a local congregation here in Oklahoma City. What you may not know is that many of my teachings over the years were recorded and are now available on our Studies with Stearman YouTube channel. So, if you're ready to take a deep look into Bible prophecy and examine the marvelous plan of God, I encourage you to head over to this new YouTube channel and subscribe today.
The Victory in Jesus Prophecy Conference brought together today's boldest voices in Bible prophecy, now available on demand. Here's Steve Quayle, born of artificial superintelligence and the annihilation of the human race. Explore the mysteries of the pyramids with L.A. Marzulli. Uncover what's coming with Billy Crone in Trump and the Stargate prophecies. And challenge traditional thinking with Mondo Gonzales in the Great Rebellion. What if there's no 7-year peace covenant? A message that is shaking the foundation of modern prophecy interpretation. For just $75, you'll receive 6 months of unlimited access to every message, every prophetic insight, all at your fingertips. From the final war on the faithful to 10 unmistakable signs we're in the last days, every message points to one truth: victory is in Jesus. Watch anytime, anywhere. Visit victoryinjesusprophecyconference.com and start streaming today, because the time to understand the times is now.
Well, welcome back, and we are here with L.A. Marzulli. And L.A., before the break, you brought up abductions, which again is a little taboo for people. But talk about the, again, let me say it this way. I like to think in terms of John Mack and Carla Turner and David Jacobs, these secular pioneers, psychologists, and others who are doing research in the area. Again, they don't have a Christian bent, or they don't have any bent, spiritual bent at all, but they come to find out, hey, this abduction phenomenon is real. Explain maybe their aspect of it, and then how it contributes to what we understand.
Well, I mean, when John Mack and Turner, and we've interviewed Dr. David Jacobs, it's in our films, and I remember he was telling us, when I first started doing this, I'm figuring, well, this is interesting, but, and about after, 20 or 30 people, he realized the light bulb went off and he went, oh my gosh, it's real.
It's real.
It's real. These people are being taken, because it defies our physics. These people are being levitated off the bed and maneuvered through the wall or through the window. And you go, well, how's that possible? Well, what does this sound like to you? A guy's in a jail cell, he's chained to a wall, an entity pops through the wall and says, get your stuff. All of a sudden the chains fall off of him, the jail cell opens by itself, they walk out to the corridor, all the guards are switched off. They're all asleep. How does that work?
This is all, and these are all PhD,
right,
scientists and researchers and stuff, Harvard University. So this isn't, that's what I find, I'm drawn to that, because in the sense of you can't just put it to tinfoil hat.
Because there's no, if any bias is there, it would be one from academia.
Yes.
But even that's not there. You're just looking at this, something's going on. Well, what I just described was Peter's jailbreak, and you know that. They get to the end, the gates open up. So what we're looking at are interdimensional entities, i.e. fallen angels. It ties back into Daniel 2:43. Their seed, now what does this mean? Here's your challenge. Their seed will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not cleave to them. What does that mean? And the angels telling Daniel, hey, Dan, seal up the words to the end. Men will roam to and fro over the face of the earth, knowledge will increase. That's where we are now. And so what we're seeing, and isn't it interesting? I mean, look, this topic is so intense, and we've only got, there's 10 films here. We've got, a few minutes. But think about this. May 14th, 1948 is when the UFO plane, if I can use that analogy, takes off the runway. Yes, there was stuff going on, but after 48, all hell break loose.
It's
Literally.
almost as if, too, that when you think about that magic date, if you want to say it, is you see the establishment of Israel in 1948, and then, of course, right before that, July of 47 with Roswell. But you see...
And then 45, the...
You see this turning point in history where
everything shifts.
Well, and we recognize that Israel is a super sign that shows us that we've entered into the end of the age.
Yep.
And so when at the same time, how coincidental, you have the whole UFO phenomenon and the disclosure and the hiding and the secrets, and then of course now there's 3,500 plus, 5,000 plus sightings per year worldwide, or even more now. And which, with everybody in their technology and phones, it's becoming ubiquitous. So this is not a phenomenon that is going to go away.
No, it's not.
And as Christians, it's just important for us to have some level of understanding.
Think about this, and I've talked about this numerous times. If you have a nuclear event on this planet now, in modernity, right now, real time, because we're all connected via the internet and the phones, everybody's looking at this thing. You have a nuke going off anywhere. It creates the greatest collective fear that mankind has ever experienced. And that's when they show up. Now it's conjecture, but that's based on decades
It'd be a
of
good
research.
time for them to
Because
show up.
everybody's fearful. That's the calling card of the enemy, is always fear, never faith, always fear. And remember, these entities can manipulate space, time, matter, and energy in a way that defy our physics. And circling back to Israel, that's when the first abductions happen, the crop circle phenomena takes off. I mean, all the counter mutilations. Yes, there were counter mutilations before, but 48, bam, everything's on the table, and it just is burgeoning. It's not going away.
It's fascinating to watch the progression and the convergence that you see there of them focusing on the exoplanets, these planets outside of other solar systems, right. Other star systems, and then very, very determined, okay, now there's 2,000, now there's 5,000, now there's 10,000 planets, and then the whole idea of, I remember looking into getting a degree in astronomy, and one of the programs that was offered was astrobiology. And so you think, what's astrobiology? Well, astrobiology is looking at, Earth biology, but then trying to extrapolate it to the universe. And of course, for panspermia, that somehow if we find life out there, that we were seated here. And so you start looking at this, and it was interesting that the whole degree of astrobiology is based on something that has no evidence at all, because obviously there's no evidence of life anywhere else. But yet their determination is to try to find a way, and you see this in Astronomy Magazine, which I get every month, and in the academic literature, they're determined that there's a connection and that there's going to be life out there, and to show that we were seated here.
Yeah, because there is no God. Because in the Darwinian paradigm, which is sacrosanct in both academia, scientific community, there's no room for miracles. There's no room for prophecy. There's no room for a loving God. Nope. None of that exists. That's all mythos. And that's how these people view it. And that's why when we come on the scene and we challenge their belief system, there's that, you're crossing swords. I mean, I've done this, I know you've done it numerous times with people in academia, scientific community, and they look at us like we're Neanderthals because we believe in this guy. We believe that he rose from the dead.
Yep.
Oh, it's impossible. That's just a bunch of crazy people back to 1,000 years. Blah, blah, blah. And prophecy is real, and that's why we're prophecy watchers, because we're watching what was foretold unfold right here, right now in modernity, unlike any other time in history. It's astounding.
One of the fascinating things that LA has worked on, which I have found to be very, very intriguing for years, for 30 years, is the whole crop circle phenomenon. And I just want to spend a couple minutes there, because it wasn't as if you're there looking at pictures. You're flying over to England. You're doing interviews with people, which England, for some reason, is one of the hotbeds, but not the only place. But
because of the Nephilim.
Talk about it.
And there's a place called Silbury Hill, and in front of that, and these are all ancient megalithic structures: Stonehenge, Silbury Hill, Avebury, the huge circle, which looks very, very much like Newark, Ohio. If you didn't know better, well, where am I? Is this Ohio someplace? Because it's almost, and I believe it's the same builders. modern day archaeologists won't go there,
Sure.
but that's where I'm at. So, these crop circles they're like, in the beginning they were very simple. Now they can become three-dimensional and they're very complex. Yes, there are hoaxers.
Of course.
Which is why the film, on our film, on crop circles, we focus in on this one crop circle in Ohio, right? That happened about a month before the first Nephilim Mounds Conference. And in my opinion, it was a huge signal. It's the second largest crop circle in America ever recorded. And it's in a field of corn, standing corn, 8 feet tall, ready to be harvested. How do you make a crop circle in a field of corn? You can't. You can't take your string and make your circles. You can't do that.
Because you can't see.
You can't see.
You can't coordinate.
And you can't, press down with the stalk stomper. It's a board with string, and they go like this, and they stamp it, and that's how they make the patterns. The hoaxers, this is different. The corn is laid down like this. It's all in the film.
It's weaved.
It's
almost.
weaved.
Yes.
You gonna tell me a bunch of hoaxers did this in the middle of the
Not gonna
happen.
It would take forever to weave these things together. But then, wasn't this particular one done in a short period of time?
Very short period of time. It's really the tentpole of the film, because we focus in on that, and it's in Ohio. It's down by Chillicothe. It's Nephilim Central, that whole area. And we were holding the first conference there years ago. So for the first time in thousands of years, a group of Christians went in and said, wait a minute, we're looking at something that's supernatural. And we were pulling the lid off this thing and exposing who they were. And they didn't like that. And the formation are called dragon heads. It's very, very elaborate. It's all in the film.
Yeah.
So that's why we focused in on that one.
And I want to encourage you too, that if maybe you're not as interested in this, but as L.A. said earlier, your children or your grandchildren are hearing this online, social media, and so this is why we do this stuff, is to equip the church in order to evangelize and to bring, again, God's perspective on all this. Well, we're going to take a little break here where you can see how to get L.A.'s work.
L.A. Marzulli loves to explore the unknown. With over 30 books and documentaries, he's made a name uncovering controversial biblical mysteries like the Nephilim and the UFO phenomenon. He calls the Bible the guidebook to the supernatural, packed with miracles and encounters that reveal a living God. Bible prophecy, his favorite topic, is the ultimate proof of that. In his latest book, Rungs of Disclosure, Marzulli dives deep into UFO history, starting with the 1947 Roswell crash, where witnesses claim a craft and alien bodies were recovered. Through interviews with experts, insiders, and an on-site investigation that uncovered mysterious metallic fragments, he exposes the decades-long government cover-up. The book covers everything from crop circles and cattle mutilations to alien abductions and whistleblower testimony, offering perhaps the most compelling take on UFOs ever written from a Christian perspective. Rungs of Disclosure is available for your gift of $30 or more with shipping included in the USA. It comes with a bonus DVD, a copy of Gary Stearman's personal UFO encounter in the skies over Texas in 1969. Gary recounts the entire multi-hour episode, which includes missing time and an unidentifiable craft that followed him to the airport in Lubbock, Texas. He believes it was an angelic rescue mission during a mid-air electrical failure. Call us toll-free at the number you see on your screen and get a copy of Rungs of Disclosure and Gary's bonus DVD, Rescued by an Angel, or visit us online at prophecywatchers.tv. For our international friends, please note that additional shipping fees do apply, and all prices listed are in US dollars. LA has developed a series of explosive DVDs that examine this demonic phenomenon. His UFO Disclosure series, a set of 10 hour-long documentaries, includes spectacular video of crop circles, interviews with military pilots, probing conversations with abductees, and the hard-to-understand cattle mutilation encounters. The entire series can be yours for your gift of $100 or more with a special DVD bonus, a copy of Josh Peck and Gary Stearman's documentary, The Great Delusion, an investigative study on the fallen angels and the hybridization of the human race. Many believe the day is coming when a UFO will appear and the world will fall for the great deception. Satan's plan will offer a false explanation for the rapture, and Scripture warns it will be so convincing that even the elect would be deceived. He's called the Prince of the Power of the Air for a reason. But make no mistake, God is still in control. The world may be blinded by lies from above, but His truth will not be silenced. Join us at Prophecy Watchers as we expose the coming deception, reveal what's really happening in the heavens, and prepare believers for the days ahead. Time is short. Don't be deceived.
Welcome back. We are here with L.A. Marzulli. L.A., kind of give us a background of, you talk about Roswell, but some people might not know what Roswell is. Explain that connection and your connection.
Roswell was an amazing event. In July 8th, the local newspaper said, RAAF captures flying disc.
1947, yep.
1947. July 9th, nope, it's just a weather balloon. This starts the whole cover-up, the deliberate obfuscation by the powers that be. Nothing to see here, it's just a weather balloon. Look, I was in the debris field with 2 metal detectors, all right? And my business partner, Gil Zimmerman, and Jim Peters, our sound guy, and then Chuck Zukowski, Frank Kimber, they've got the metal detectors. And we pray, and 10 seconds later, hey guys, we got a hit, we go over. We are the only film company on the planet ever to show a piece of the debris coming up out of the ground. We show it. He's digging, finally he sees it. It's in the palm of my hand. We actually had the metal tested. We went to a lab, scanning electron microscope. It's an aluminum alloy, but it doesn't match anything that we have. And the piece is folded. It's about half the size of my little pinky nail, and it's folded up into itself. How is that done? How is that done? Roswell was not a weather balloon. We have too many eyewitnesses in the film. Jesse Marcel Jr., his father, Jesse Marcel Sr., was the one that went with Mac Brazel and picked up the wreckage and brought it home, woke up his son, awakened his wife. They all handled the thing. It's wreckage from another world. And the reason what we're seeing is it's all coming out, but yet the powers that be keep pushing back with the same bogus weather balloon story, which is just nonsense in my opinion. We have 2 films on this. It's a deep dive.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, all the things that LA has done. And LA, as we wrap up here, there's people watching all different stripes. What do you want this to do? Ultimately, spiritually, what do you want people to get from this?
Well, it points back to Jesus. It points back to the seed war. It points back to Genesis 3:15. It points back to the idea of the cosmic war that we find ourselves in right now. That's ramping up to the time of Jacob's trouble, the 7 years. Here's the deal. If you think you know him, but you don't know him, then you don't know him. If you don't have a personal relationship with the Son of God, Jesus the Messiah, all you got to do is believe on him who was sent and confess with your mouth that he is Lord. And he'll come in. It happened to me 45 years ago, and I had no idea what I was signing up for. I was alone in my room. If you're real, come into my life. Nothing happened. A month later, all hell broke loose as I was dragged out of the kingdom of darkness into the light. And the enemy did not want to let me go. So if you're, in that little supernatural stupor where you don't think any of this stuff is real, think again. Think again, because it's all too real. It's the ultimate reality. He loves you, and he's got a plan for your life, but you got to invite him in.
Amen. L.A., thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mondo.
Thank you for watching today. And as always, as L.A. said, we're here to point you to the Lord Jesus Christ. And we thank you for your prayers and support for our ministry. And we'll catch you next time.